All right. So now let's talk about um, doing more key lighting and more green screening. So we've already used our pen tool to get um, rid of some of the green and some of the outer exterior. And now we want to get rid of the green background. You want to make sure that you're actually on the layer. You selected the layer that you want to work on, because now we're going to get an effect that is called green key. I'm sorry, key light. Okay. And what you're looking for is the one that will say key light plus key cleaner plus advanced spill suppressor. So that's the one that you're looking for right now. There are two, but I will tell you this just in case this sounds confusing. When you type in the full word Keylight, and you look under animation presets, image utilities, this is the one that you want. So you see where my cursor is sort of pointing over versus this one here, keying Keylight 1.2. Don't use that one. Use this one, Keylight plus key cleaner plus advanced spill suppressor. That's what you want. And again, make sure that your layer is selected, right? That's the video layer with the green screen, man running on a green screen. And with that selected, now I'm going to click on this and drag it right on top. We've done that before. And what you're going to see is you're going to see me do that. And then, of course, where my projects is, it's going to switch to effects controller, and it'll have the settings for this effect over there. So while I'm clicking on this and dragging here, you also want to be mindful of this window right here. Okay. So here we go. So I click here, see that plus sign, and I drop. So a couple of things have happened here, right? So first you see, okay, under effects control, which is always here, but now that is to the forefront, projects to the back. You can also see like, oh, okay, well, it's particularly key light because that's what I put there. But the other thing to always understand that is also now inside of that layer settings underneath here as well. Okay, so always remember that. So we're going to do a few tweaking things here. Okay, and so one is the screen color. And this is a side note, of course, you're going to skip across this. I love that they spell color with a U because I spell color with a U. Anyway, let's get to the work. So I'm going to take the eyedropper for screen color. Okay, and I'm going to use the eyedropper, and I'm just going to click here. When I click onto the green, now those of you who have done green screen before or set up and done a video shot for green screen, you know that some of these darker greens are going to be a problem, because if I select a green here, okay, now, and usually that's a problem. And now you would say, well, Blue, this doesn't look too bad. And I'm glad that you feel that way. And it doesn't, and it's pretty good, but there's a lot more to do. So I want to show you a few things. First of all, I have my toggle on here. Right where you see my mouse, when I roll over, it says toggle transparency. If I click that off, I would see black, right? Because it would be showing me the black instead, which is the color of my background, um, instead of the green, because I clicked on the green and said switch that all out to my background, which is black. But if I click on the toggle, that means I can see it clear, and I don't have the distraction of the black. However, in some ways, the black is good because you can see those hints of green coming around there. And those are going to be sort of problematic. Those are things that I really don't want, that spilling over of that green. And that's really hard sometimes with doing green screen. So let's go a little bit further. So I wanted to first point out the toggle. Okay, you've seen it before, but I wanted to point it out again. Over here, I'm also going to point out the intermediate results. Intermediate results is important because at times you're going to go, well, show me the final results. And at other times you're going to say, show me screen matte. Okay, so we're gonna go to screen matte. And when we do that, we see that black and white. And those black and whites you've seen before, you've seen it in Photoshop, you've seen it in Premiere, and now you see it in After Effects. So when we're doing those blacks and whites, we know that whatever you see that's white, we're going to keep, and whatever you see that's black is going to go away, right? And so we really want to make sure that, we sort of refine that, because you can see those sort of grays when you're really looking for blacks and whites, okay? And so while my screen mat is on, I'm going to actually go to the section right here that says screen mat. Okay, so I'm in screen mat here, and I'm in screen mat here. Okay, keep in mind I've already keyed out my green. Okay, and so now inside of screen mat, I'm gonna come here. And the thing about this is what I'm trying to do, and I'm not turning on my clocks because I'm not animating this. What I'm trying to do is get rid of is to not have those grays. I'm trying to have blacks and whites by and far. And so I'm going to scrub a little bit just so you can see, and then I'll give you a number that I think works pretty well. So see how as I'm scrubbing, see how that's getting blacker, right? And we already said whatever's black is going to be gone. So we know we don't really want that because that would take out our character. Okay, so we want to actually go the opposite direction to take out more of those blacks or more of those grays. And you can see I'm going to go back to 0, which is where I started. I still have some of those grays. So I'm particularly focusing on the clip black, right? And so when I go the opposite direction, let's see, let's go minus, let's see, let's go minus 80. It doesn't even let me go to minus 80. So I'm going to go to my black clips, and as I've shown you, I'm going to scrub, and you can see how it gets it can get really dark. So I'm going to just type in 16. Okay, so when I type in 16, you see that it's gotten a little bit less gray, a little bit sort of the disparity between the two. And then on the white, I'm going to go to 60 and hit return. Okay, so see how that got us a lot more of those whites here. So I lost some of the, let's go back to 0 so you can see it. I lost some of the um, I lost some of the t-shirts. So here, let me go to 0 and hit enter. Let me go back one more time and hit 0 here. 60. And then there. What I've lost here is some of the t-shirt, or all of the t-shirt signage, but we definitely see more black and whites coming here. And if I scrub back, and I scrub back to my 60, we can see that difference. I'll do the same with my blacks. So see how that's more gray there than if I go and I type in 60. Now, some of this you want to be careful of it, and it takes a lot of tweaking. I will say that sometimes because, and that's one of the reasons why people like to get the best screen they can, because you want to keep those edges, but you want to keep them sort of realistic. Um, and so I've done my screen matte, my clip black, and then is at 16. My clip white is at 60, right? And now I'm going to go down here and go to my key cleaner, okay? And I'm going to go to the additional edge radius and take it from, it's at 10 right now for me. And I'm going to go ahead and make that 0, okay? Um, And that's really what you want. So I'm going to switch it from, I have the screen mat setting here. Remember, this used to be at intermediate results. So I'll put that there so you can see, there he is. And then I'm going to actually switch to go to final results so you can see, okay, so that's really what it would look like as the final. So I'm going to go back to intermediate for a second. So you see how that green is there because that was in a shirt. So of course, those are things you would try not to film. If you're going to use a green screen, then you would have your talent not wear green if you're going to use a green screen, um, just so that you don't have that problem. But and I think that is actually supposed to be red anyway. But so we've used three of these. We used the screen mat so that we could do this black and white alpha refining. And then we went back to the intermediate to sort of show you what it would look like at intermediate. And then we can see what it looks like as final. Okay? And so with that in mind, you have done it, my friend. Okay, so we got our key light from our effects. We made sure that we chose the one that had key light plus key cleaner plus advanced spill suppressor. We put that on top with our layer selected. And then we came over here and we used our eyedropper to pull out that green. We then switched to um, our screen mat so that we could make some refined changes. One was to our black clip, which is at 16, and then our white clip, which is at 60. We then came down to our key cleaner, where we went to our additional edge radius and put that at 0. Okay, and then we went back up here and changed this to either intermediate or final. And again, the reason why you don't see my black is because I have this on toggle. Okay, so I've toggled this off, my toggle transparency, because I just wanted to see it transparent. But if you want to see it with the black, just take it off of that. Okay? All right.